Hey, welcome guys back to Musings of Mavri. I'm your host Mavri, where today we are watching Kimetsu no Yaiba episode 9. And if the cliffhanger last episode is anything to go by, we are about to see some pretty epic fighting, right? It's been shown numerous times in the opening where Tanjiro is fighting against these two demons, one which, I don't know, shoots arrows or string or something out of his hands, and another one is using a ball of some sort, right? I mean, of course, he's been through many fights already. He's just been through a fight a few episodes earlier against the swamp kind of monster or demon or whatever that thing is, but that one was more, you know, it's not really full-blown battle since the swamp demon was sort of using hit and run tactics. Here it's going to be, you know, fully strength on strength, and so I am looking forward to that. And of course, there's also the stuff with the actual plot as well, right? So we haven't entirely heard the backstory of the Doctor, how she pertains to all this, as well as the entire concept of demons. Hopefully we can learn a little bit more about this, and also a little bit more about Muzan as well. Which I think we should, because especially if or actually I should say when Tanjiro defeats these two demons, they'll probably be letting out some information, right? Alright, so beyond that, in terms of actual real-world stuff, not really that much. Apparently Kimetsu no Yaiba is, or actually the production studio behind it, UFL Table, is getting ready to set up one of their I think UFL Table runs some restaurants or whatnot, and so they're doing another Kimetsu no Yaiba themed dining restaurant or something like that. They already had a cafe, and now they have a restaurant. So apparently this is just the way UFL Table does things. So whatever. Probably most of you will not have the chance to go, but if you do, do let me know, right? And at least for me, more importantly, is that the opening for this anime, you know, Lisa's Gurenge, the music video has been released about yesterday, 2 days ago, or something like that. Now it's a short version, as the Japanese like to, you know, cut off the full version and put that into something that they sell, sadly. But it's definitely demon themed, if you will, and this is an absolutely great song. So do check that out as well. I'll probably leave a link to it down there below. But anyways, beyond that, let's get ready for some epic action. Alrighty, let's begin in 3, 2, 1, play. You play basketball, girl? By the way, that is a more, how should I say, a traditional, should I say traditional? It's just something that children play. They just call it, bouncing the ball. It's not really related with basketball. That was a joke, okay? Alright, hold that thought. Come on. Alright, opening, probably. Yep. Alright, let me skip this real quick. As I said, you guys can listen to this one and watch the music video in the link down below. And back. Tamari Demon and Arrow Demon. So it is Arrow. You know, I feel like somebody on Reddit is going to make a meme out of that Arrow Demon. Is that, like, seriously, it looks like it can be turned into an upvote. In fact, maybe somebody has already done that. I'll check on Reddit later. The ones who make high quality GIFs out of these kinds of things, make it into an upvote or downvote. Then don't stay behind her, you idiot. Time to fight. No, he's not. Ooh. You guys want to think about fighting back anytime soon? Ooh. What? Ah, but he's a demon, so it doesn't really matter. That's a demon, though. Okay. Yeah. Probably nothing actually happened to him. Can that thing be cut? Oh? Oh man, I am reminded so much of... I'm reminded so much of Rurouni Kenshin. Where's his head? Yep. Wait, he doesn't actually need to reattach his head? Dang. So is he gonna fight? Probably. No. One of the 12 demon moons? So she's actually a big deal? Ooh. Whoa. Okay. Now she turned into a Pokemon. Switch to attack mode. Ooh. Oh, so, okay, the other guy is controlling them? Ooh. They probably don't need your protecting. Yeah. Oh. Dang. So. Okay. Oh, he already knows. Hmm. Where did the rest of the balls come from, though? Like, hasn't Tanjiro already cut down a lot of them? Oh, never mind. Let me enjoy this animation first. Oh, hoi! Oh! Husha! Nice! Mm-hmm. Why didn't you just behead her in the same time? No. Come on, we don't need to have a recap of this right in the middle of a fight. Why are we... never mind. Alright. What's gonna happen now? Both of them are. What the? What? Was that like a... What kind of... Ooh. Yeah, so how exactly are you gonna go about this? Hmm. Hmm. Oh? Should you just blindly charge? Eh? You probably should dodge now? Oh! Like he could seriously just kill him just like this. Hmm. And what are the other two doing? Like, what are they going to do? Oh? Oh? Hmm? Hmm. Oh, there we go. Yeah, she doesn't really know how to use her powers. So they're already fighting like boss levels right in this early stage. Hmm. Oh. Oh. At least he dodged this. Huh? Really? Yeah, he's only a human, right? So this should be. Oh? You can do something like that? Okay. Oh. Dang. Ooh. Dang. But that isn't really enough to kill them, is it? Don't tell me it's gonna end here? Oh, that is so infuriating. Oh, man. Alright, alright, alright. Alright, let's see the ending part. Alright, then the ending part. Preview part, I guess. Really? Became friends? Really? And they're both one of the 12, but they only just met? Together forever? Alright. Alrighty, so we did get the action that we were waiting for in this episode, although I guess not quite according to what I expected, in a way. But we'll talk about that, right? Let's first talk about the two demons. For convenience's sake, and for simplicity's sake, I'll just call them the Arrow Demon and the Ball Demon. So, first of all, we learned the concept of the so-called 12 demon moons, right? So, according to the context that we can learn from this episode, apparently these are like the 12 highest level demons directly underneath Muzan, something like that. But at the same time, it doesn't, I know, it just doesn't really feel, it feels kind of off to me, right? Because there's various things about I think this. First of all, there was a hint in the ending of this episode where it said that these two demons actually met for the first time today. So, judging from that, it leads me to believe that probably they are either newly promoted to this class, or, you know, it's just not that high of a... You would think that being the 12 highest level demons, they would have more interactions with each other, right? So, but apparently this is not the case. And then going into the second part, you know, it was mentioned also that Muzan had recently given them a lot of his blood or whatnot in order to enhance their powers. So this means that, you know, they probably were only enhanced this way recently, right? So that's the second point about this. And the third point is, come on, Tanjiro is a newbie demon hunter who is literally on his second mission since becoming an official demon hunter. If he is able to take on one of the 12 highest level demons just in his second mission and win, then what the heck were all the other demon hunters doing in the past, right? So that doesn't, you know, this kind of boost in scale of power doesn't really make sense. That's why I think there's something fishy about this whole situation, and maybe it's not just you know, one of the top 12 as is portrayed here. And you know, speaking of Tanjiro, so I guess in this episode he fully displays the tropes of you know, normal cliche shonen manga types, right? Rushing in head first into battle, getting some consequences of it, and then learning to adapt and maybe use his head a little bit to get out of the sticky situation. Now, credit to him, I did think that the ways he made it out were quite creative, right? You know, he thinks things through. He just needs to learn about it first, right? Then again, I still don't really agree with him just, you know, trying to rush against enemies that he doesn't really have any idea about. He doesn't know their capabilities, their abilities, and whatnot, and that is going to cause him a lot of trouble, right? Like, by all means, come on. As far as we know, Demon Slayers aren't actually, you know, special humans in any way. They've just trained a lot, right? So technically their body and such is still normal humans. And from the way that Tanjiro was getting damaged within this episode, like, I'm amazed that he hasn't started coughing up blood, maybe got some internal bleeding, at least broken a few ribs or broken a few bones already. Like, that should have happened, right? He was literally thrown into a brick wall, and the brick wall disintegrated, right? Or I guess not disintegrated, but cracked and was destroyed. So he should be having a lot more damage than was portrayed within this episode. And that just, you know, it goes back, right? They are humans. Tanjiro is a human. It's not like he's a demon which can regenerate, right? He needs to be more careful about his body in a way. So, but I get it, right? It's shown in manga. It's shown in anime, so fine. And like I said, I did like how he eventually managed to use some creativity and change the situation into his favor. Although I definitely don't think that he was able to kill the Arrow Demon at the end of this episode. I don't think it's going to be quite that easy, and especially going back to what I said before, if he really was able to kill one of the top 12 this easily, then the top 12 doesn't really have much value to it, right? That's why, first of all, I don't think he actually killed the demon, and second of all, I actually kind of predict that they're not going to be able to completely fight them on their own and win. It's probably going to have to come down to the doctor and one of her secret moves or whatnot in order to save them all. Or, like I said before, it could be just the case that these 12, you know, demon moons aren't actually all that, all things considered, right? So, yeah, that's pretty much my observations for this episode. And like I said, again, when we saw Tanjiro using some of his other moves, like the one which had a thrust to it, again, I was reminded with Rurouni Kenshin, the Katotsu style, I guess you could say. That's a favorite of Kito. But anyways, that definitely gave me some deja vus, and I did very much like that. Other than that, I guess not really much else to talk about. You know, we can talk about Yushiro and whatnot, but oh, I guess one final thing I want to talk about is, I guess, a little bit negative for this episode, and that is the pacing. Like, I really don't like how they keep on doing these sort of rewind recaps in the middle of the episode, and especially they rewinded a little bit too much, right? I guess it's because this is for a TV anime, so they put those kinds of stuffs in, but at the same time it's just like a really big waste of time to me. And also another thing is in the I guess the need for dialogue in the middle of combat. Like seriously, it's like you're thinking, what is the enemy doing, right? Why is the enemy just letting you guys talk and figure these things out with each other, and why don't they choose that time to attack, right? It's always one of my pet peeves when something like this happens, and it's happening here as well. Granted, you could also say this is partially because of Tanjiro's personality's fault. He does have the bad habit of, I don't know, being very peculiar in asking stuff or in his dialogue at pretty inappropriate times. So maybe that's just part of the personality of this character, right? But it definitely brought me out of immersion a little bit when in the middle of the battle you start having this conversation about what you're going to do, about what this actually means and whatnot, and then continue battling on, right? So I don't really like how it's portrayed here, or I don't like this style of doing things. I would have much preferred if you can maybe have some inner monologues, or maybe just or maybe flashbacks, or maybe maybe just talk about this before the battle, right? But definitely not during battle and then asking someone else what to do, or what he wants, or what the gravity of the situation is. So yeah, I feel like the pacing in this episode was a little off for me. Alright, so I think that now this time it really covers everything I want to talk about. So hopefully next episode, we'll again get some pretty epic fights. Hopefully not interrupted by, to be honest, kind of meaningless dialogue, right? Just let them duke it out, let them fight the way through, and then in the end, if there's any benefits to it, then we can talk, right? So anyways, that was episode 9, and I will see you guys next time again. So until then, bye bye, and remember to check out Gurenge, the music video. So bye bye.